What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this planet we send it. And what we're going to be getting in today, we're going to be jumping right back into Rodriquez Rock Garden where we left off. And where we left off was we had just made it through the first major section, and we had just completed the transition between the first and the second section. Rodriquez Rock Garden, it isn't that long. It's only like 300-400 yards at best. So we are on now probably the toughest section of Rodriquez Rock Garden, at least the toughest section for 4 doors. And you're about to see, and if you recall from part 1, I did mention the Gladiator with us took damage, so you guys are about to go ahead and see that. But all right, I got a plan in place. Risks are acceptable. Let's go ahead and send it. All right, cousin. So how was the first gatekeeper to Rodriquez Rock Garden?
Well, I'll tell you what, Nathan. As I was approaching, these rocks are they're large. And this is the biggest rock garden that I've been into. And I was really impressed with my traction, suspension, and even though I felt things could be off camber, pretty level, so to speak. So as of right now, pretty impressed. Yeah, it looked pretty smooth, and there wasn't nothing much to it, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, I was asking Joe, should we keep Heidi in position? Joe was like, he's not going to need a winch. So yeah, you went through it no problem. Next one, I think your biggest challenge is going to be slaloming the boulders. So that's going to be the hardest part for you, is just because your turn radius is not as desirable. My turning radius is pretty awful.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be potentially going to be your biggest challenge of the day. But it goes through a little mini gatekeeper for the second section, and then it gets into that little slaloming. But yeah, I think that's probably where you're going to have your most fun on the wheel today.
Looking forward to it.
We had arrived at the final major obstacle, and over this last 100 yards, I would say there's probably about 4 parts to it. You have this first part, which is the gatekeeper, and then you go around and you make a little left and then a hard right, and then you end up at a section to where it's highly likely, unless you got enough clearance, you're going to potentially become high-centered. Once you get past that high-centered spot, you then got to go through the slalom being the third part. And once you then once you get past the slalom, before last time I came here, it wasn't so bad. But you went through this other area that had kind of like a section that was a little bit challenging to kind of get out. And then once you got out, you were literally back on the truck trail, and that was it. You're gonna see it's a lot different now.
Passenger, Kim. Easy, Kim. Easy. Little inches. You're almost to the peak. You got it, babe. You got it. No, you don't. That's not what we wanted. Come forward. Keep it hard passenger now. There you go. You're climbing much shallower. Keep coming, Kim. Keep coming. Don't stop. Good, stop. Okay, straighten out, driver. Come forward. Driver now.
The V8 does sound good.
Go that way. Go that way. Dig for it, man. You got it. Atta girl. What'd you think up there?
2 tight spots and a high center.
There you go. Keep coming. Nope. Go back passenger. You're gonna fall. There you go. Nope. Why are you turning, dude? Go back passenger. Right there. Keep coming.
So 2 things I want to bring up real fast. You can see here with Mike coming through this section without proper clearance, Joe wanted to bring him through the easy line. However, the easy line was bringing him directly into that bush. The other thing I wanted to pay attention to, and I put that little note just before this clip about Joe asking Gunner what he thought about the next section. Gunner went and actually surveyed the next area, the harder section, again, and he took a look at the tabletop where you can get high-centered and the slalom, which is kind of tight to get around. That was before everyone else had went through it, and Gunner was towards the end. So if you're coming out here with a Gladiator, and you'll see definitely by the end of this video, if you watch all the way through, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're coming out here with a Gladiator, make sure that the Gladiator gives a real hard look before entering this section right here of the whole remainder of the trail when it's actually the Gladiator's turn to go through, just in case people move things around.
Try straightening out, Mike. Oh, should climb. It's not that hard.
We almost did a little bit of work for that 2 times a day.
Your lockers are on, right?
They're turning now. We'll turn it now.
Almost a little bump, you think, or?
Back up about a foot, Mike.
You're gonna go forward about 6 feet and then stop, but you gotta get there fast.
Bump it.
Right there, dude.
Yep, there we go.
On that side.
Good job.
Come forward and turn driver a little bit. And right as you come forward. Perfect line. Keep coming. You got this, dude. Give me some driver as you come forward. Stop right there, Tim. There you go. You got this.
Keep going, keep going.
Easy, easy. You got this. Come forward.
You're up. A little bit more. Nice job, Mike.
Ooh, that's different.
As you heard Joe, Dave was taking a different line. It appeared Dave wanted to try the harder line, even though he had 35-inch tires.
Don't go too far, Kim. Yeah, we may need to stack some rocks on this passenger side.
Either that or he's gonna have to bump it.
Careful,
Ooh,
Alex.
stop walking around.
You got it. Oh, you know what? In the middle.
Hang on, Dave, passenger hard. Spin around that rock, dude. Nope, that's really bad now.
Hold on.
Don't listen to me.
Come up. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Mark out. That was a good attempt. Just need a little bit taller. More clearance.
And after a valiant attempt, we backed him out and we brought him through the original, through the bush line.
Eat some bush. Good. Okay, you're climbing again, Dave. Driver, hard driver.
There you go.
Easy. Keep coming. You got this. Back passenger, nice and smooth here, Dave. What's all the hubbub's about? No, bud. Okay, coming up nice and smooth here. Okay, stop. Give me some driver. I gotta get you around this rock. Driver. No. Don't come forward, dude. Okay, back up. Stop. Turn driver. That's where you're standing. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Start turning passenger as you climb. Hard. There you go. That's where I want you. There you go. Climbing now.
There you go, Dave.
Back driver. There you go.
There you go.
You're moving around.
Oh.
Okay. Turn passenger. No, don't go back. Don't go back. You're coming forward. Turn passenger forward. Go back driver. Yep, keep coming. See if she'll eat. She will. Keep coming. Okay, back passenger. Oh, easy. Good.
He's on skid plate. One thing I want you to pay attention to is Dave's Falcon Wild Peaks. I'm actually a fan of the Falcon Wild Peaks. They have really good traction, but they are known for not having the best sidewalls. And Dave actually did slice his sidewall in this section. I don't know exactly where it happened. I think it was later on in the trail, but you just take a look at the abuse he gives his sidewalls during this trip. There you go. There you go. There you go. And here's Artie again going up the hard line in his 40s, and he's going to show you what a difference going from 35s to 40s make.
Keep going and go passenger. More passenger. Just slowly turn passenger. More passenger, more passenger. There you go. Keep going. Very good. Come back to driver. We're going to go on top of these rocks. Here you go. Keep coming, keep going. A little more driver. Hold that right there.
Just barely big enough not to diff.
Alright, Audie. Good. You're good to go, man. Nice and easy. There you go. Good line. Hold that. Hold that. Stop the tire. Hold that one. You're good. Little passenger. There you go.
All right, Artie. Like I said, he made that look pretty easy. Now we got Heidi going up in her 37s. And even just going from 40s to 37s, pay attention to how much more struggle there is trying to go through this section.
Back up a little bit. Passenger and forward. Hard passenger, hard passenger. Ooh, good. Okay, come on up. Back up. Keep coming. And then we're going to go forward and hard passenger. Hard passenger. There you go, right there. Stop. Back to driver. Sorry. Stop right there. Forward. Passenger now.
There you go.
Come up. Stop. Stop. Back. Stop. 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 Back up. You're going to come forward and start turning driver. Driver, 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 driver. Coming.
There you go.
Okay, back.
There you go.
Passenger. There you go. Come on up.
Come on in, Heidi.
Hold passenger. Hold that. Keep coming.
There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Nice job, Heidi. So what I'm hoping you saw there is if you had 35s, it was hit or miss if you were going to make it on your own or not. At least the day we went through with a little bit of rain, it was questionable. 37s, however, you were able to get through with a little bit of struggle. And as you saw already in his 40s, he went through pretty easily. Maybe a couple corrections, but really it wasn't that much for him. Now we're on the next section, and here we have Mike going into section 2. And this is where, as soon as you make this right turn, you come out to the area where you're going to get potentially high-centered if you don't have sufficient clearance. And as a matter of fact, as I mentioned earlier in this video, we're already kind of like tore up the trail and someone got high-centered. This is that section.
And come forward.
Yeah, so we got to get that up a little bit sooner.
Or I can put a rock right here. Back up. Keep coming.
There you go.
Keep going.
Keep going, go, 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 go.
Keep going.
Beautiful.
Stop. Good.
Nice. We stopped Mike just before the third section, the slalom section, just in case Dave needed a win. So Dave is now leaving the gatekeeper. He's coming up and he's going to be making that right where you saw Mike at, and then go through the tabletop section, or the area that you potentially could get high centered. You might have to come up on that rock on the right. There we go. And I do want to make it very clear, that was not supposed to be the high centered section. Where Dave is now is what is normally the high center section. As you're making it as I'm falling. Go ahead and come on up. Go to the passenger. Little to the passenger. Straight. Come on up. Come on up. You're cresting. Come a little bit to, keep coming. There you go, keep coming. Now this part you're gonna wanna just drive on through it. Just drive on through it, go to passenger. I should, hold up.
We need some momentum. Go, 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 go. Don't stop. Just go.
There it is. Oh yeah. All right, where you at? Keep going, there you go. You're up. And now that we had Dave through the high center section, it's time to move Mike on through the slalom section. This is the third section, and that was just to keep everything moving as far as the train going.
Keep coming, Mike.
Can you fight through that?
All right, back up.
What?
Give it the beans.
There you go, there you
Keep
go.
going, Mike, don't
Get him
stop.
over.
Stop.
There it is.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
It's a
I know, I
game
got
of
you.
it.
So last year when I came out here, making your approach on the slalom section was not that challenging, but since it was, and I did learn while editing this video that Mike is on 35s, since Dave here is on 35s, they decided to hold Mike where he was just in case he needed a winch.
More driver.
Ooh.
Back up, passenger. Hard drive if you can, give me a bump. You're good. Hold that line. Stop. Come on up. Slow now, slow. Nice, there we go. Driver, forward. More driver, more driver. No, too much driver. Come, little passenger. Keep coming. Alright, hang on. Take a look. Remember that rock I said wouldn't be a problem? Back up a little bit.
Now Dave was the first one I was catching going through the actual slalom section, and I do want you to note here, this is why the second section of Rodriquez Rock Garden is known as two-door country, because this is where having a shorter and narrow wheelbase gives you the advantage in this section.
More driver. Hold that. Come forward. Come forward. Come forward. Coming. Now hard driver. Hard you can. Keep going. Stop. So here's the thing is, like, we're right into your bumper. You're just about to clear to get you back to passenger. And I can't make you come up this undercut because your tires are too small. So it's going to be, yeah, if you can come this way, back up. So if you turn passenger right now and back up, it'll move your back in a little bit. So let's try doing that. Passenger. Okay. Now forward and hard passenger. Hard, hard, hard. Keep going. Okay, now back to driver. Stop right there. Back up, passenger.
So in many cases, winching will kind of get you out of the problem, except this one, it was a little bit more delicate because we were trying to keep Dave off his rear fender there, so we didn't want him, or off this side, period. We didn't want him to fall into that boulder on the driver's side, so that's why we had the winch tied to him as he came around. It was definitely a very delicate operation.
Don't worry about that rock right now. Don't worry about me. It's just paint. Stop. Good. Keep coming. Good. Stop. Come forward.
We are now at a new high center spot for the trail. At least this was not here the previous year. or at least maybe for 35-inch tires it was, but for if you have bigger tires, it wasn't. At least at this point, I wasn't sure. However, Joe had just gotten Mike through this section, and the recommendation was to go high up to passenger to stay off the diff and avoid getting high centered. So that's what I was here trying to spot Dave through as he went through, as Joe moved ahead to get Bling, Kim and Bling, and then also Mike through the rest of the trail.
All right, you're gonna start coming down. Come down, keep coming slow, inches, slowly, slowly. You're good, come forward. Now straighten the wheel. See if you can back up. Straighten the wheel, back up. Let me see what you're on. Yep, and back up. No, you're right on your skid plate.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Dave through. He got high centered there, and we had to go ahead and pull him off with the winch. Then I moved down here where Alex was trying to get Audie through, and I wanted to see how Audie was doing, with who isn't on JK, but was on 40s, to see how he was going to fare through the slalom section. When I got here, however, I saw that Audie had just stopped, and he was going to remain in position in case we had to pull Heidi through the first high center section. Which is exactly what we had to do. We had to pull Heidi through, even though she had 37s and a 3.5-inch lift. Now it's Heidi's turn in the slalom section, and I wanted to highlight two things. Number one, pay attention to his rear driver's side wheel and what it does to the boulder as it shimmies around. And then the other thing I want to bring your attention to, if you're going to be the one who's walking around spotting people through, when you get to this section, it's really tight. You're probably going to want to come out here and close a material that's pretty strong, because you're pretty much good. If you're going to have to go back and forth between this section, you're going through the bushes, and those bushes will be pulling on your clothes.
Forward. Nice and easy. Passenger down. Easy now. You're okay. Start climbing over here. You're almost past the point, so we're good. Nice and slow, Audie. Nice and slow.
So I cut out most of the back and forth in that section. Just know that it took quite a bit of finessing to get Audie set up in the right line. Now I wanted to kind of see how he did with 40s on this next new high center section. So as you can see, the right size tires and lift, you can go ahead and get on through like Audie did. Now we're going to watch Heidi come through. Now JLs are just inherently a little bit wider than a JK, so even those Heidi's on 37s, it's going to be kind of interesting to watch her go through this section.
I'm not going to lie.
Well, my take doesn't work.
I mean, deep. That's pretty good.
Come on up. Keep coming.
Come on, there you go.
Now, keep coming nice and easy. Start fast.
Nice.
Straighten up a little bit.
What's the first? That was
Good. Keep going. One passenger. Forward. Or forward and hard driver when you can.
It's going to be a 15-pointer.
Yep.
15-point and success is still success.
Don't worry about that bumper.
Back up and passenger.
Or the license plate, yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get Heidi through. After many attempts, we just couldn't get her through, even though she was on 37s and also her 3.5-inch lift. Now, I will say, Heidi was the first one to go through the new trail, and I bring that up because Audie, when he came through, one of the times when he came through, his rear bumper pulled the big boulder into the trail about, we estimate about 6 to 8 inches, so that was making an already narrow place even narrower, and that's going to play a big role on Gunner coming through next in his Gladiator. So Audie was the only one that I caught coming out the very last section before you make it back to the actual truck trail. And I will make a note here, he is taking the hardest line out, which not many people make. So just be mindful that this is not the normal route. The normal route is to go way to passenger up the side of the hill there and just kind of give it a little bump on out. Probably a good idea. If it's even gonna, yeah, release.
Turn passenger, Audie. Hold on 1 second, I can use my seatbelt now.
He's putting on the seatbelt.
Too late for that.
Well, it wouldn't work a minute ago.
Okay, you passenger as far as you can?
No.
There you go, right there. Okay, loose it and go. Can you back up?
Hey, somebody owes me a tug or two.
You're definitely due for your own tug. So not even Audie and his 40-inch tires can make it through there. And I will say, he did ask Joe about if he had seen anyone make it through that section, and Joe mentioned he had only seen 2 vehicles make it. So although it was a good attempt, we did have to pull him on out of there. Now we got Gunner up. And if you recall from part 1, I did mention that Gunner took damage in this section. So that's going to be coming up in a little bit. And, you know, I do want to say that there's no Monday morning quarterback going on here. I will say Gunner was warned 2 different occasions on coming through here. And he knows his vehicle. And as a matter of fact, I really emphasize he knows his vehicle. So he walked this section and took a look and made a risk calculation on whether to attempt it or not. And his decision was to go. So with all the information he had at the time, he decided to go. Now, I will say, as I mentioned previously, Audie did pull that boulder into there 8 inches. Now, we didn't know how that was going to affect things or not, but you're going to kind of see here it affected things significantly, especially for the Gladiator in a longer wheelbase. Hard passenger. There you go. And sliding. Well, you're past the diff now. And
Done.
that's me. Yeah. And of course I didn't catch it on camera, but Gunner backed out and gave it a real hard bump and got over. Go to passenger. There you go. All right, hold on, Gunner. Let me get up and see where you're going. Now driver. Straight. Hold that. Come on. You're going to go straight. Go little to driver. A little to driver. Come on up. Son of a... All right, can you go back? And back in passenger. I definitely apologize for my hand getting in the way there as I was spotting Gunner through. But now we got Gunner coming through with under Alex's spotting. And I will say, though, that even though Alex's spotting, things are starting to get a little bit more challenging, because if you may have noticed, the rain is now starting to intensify. So we're now trying to get a Gladiator through the most tightest section when the rain is now starting to make everything a little bit slippery. So that is adding another variable to what was already a tough section.
I'll drive it. That's your
Fender. That's what I'm talking about, the Gladiator line. Whoa, stop. That's binding up in the back wheel there. And unfortunately, that's where Gunner broke his driver's side rear axle. This picture courtesy of Gunner showing his broken axle. And unfortunately, the carnage didn't stop there.
Eat the bush, eat the bush, eat the bush. You're almost there. Let me go. It's just too tight now, dude. Keep coming. Yeah, your
Rear wheels
not even
moving. All right, he's past the rock now.
But it's gonna.
He's at least past the metal part. The rubber part, he still needs to come around.
Our intentions by this point is we were just going to kind of drag him through and use the winch to the max extent we could to keep his drivetrain as safe as possible, being that the driver's side rear axle was broken. However, you'll see here in a little bit, even that was not going to work.
Thing is he has the armor underneath at the corner there. I just don't know if it's going to be in the right position to keep him off that rock.
And we decided to go ahead and bring my cousin Eric through here in Blackout because we needed to go ahead and pull Gunner's tail end around to completely just maneuver his Jeep the way we wanted it to. Again, using the most minimal amount of his powertrain as possible.
Everything's just too goddamn wet, too. Hard passenger. Keep moving your wheels. Come forward. Drive it. Stick to it. Stick to it.
There you go. All right, Gunner, what are your thoughts on Rodriquez Rock Garden?
It's a riot.
Recommend taking a Gladiator through?
All day, every day.
Okay. I'll give you credit. At least you're wheeling the heck out of it.
Can't say I didn't want to wheel it. Can you hear me?
That's right. You gave it a valiant effort. That's 100%.
Eric, can you hear me?
So we were losing sunlight, as you may have started to notice. The sun was down, so we made the call to go ahead and back Gunner out. There was no way to pull him forward without taking significant damage to his driver's side rear quarter. Now, we'll let you in on a little bit of a joke here. I was kind of teasing my cousin. He had built up his Jeep so much. The only way he would be challenged to go through Rodriquez Rock Garden is if he did this in reverse. So all credit due to not only Gunner, but also my cousin Eric. They did this part of Rodriquez Rock Garden in reverse.
All right, well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. And as you saw, it was very unfortunate, Gunner did take damage. And I say, you never want to see anyone take damage. And again, we go out with a good group of people, and Gunner, nothing short of that. He's just a good man, a good guy. If you ever talk to him and meet him, just good gentleman overall, great spirits, etc. And so it just sucks when you see bad things happening to good people. But I will say, just to kind of summarize both parts, Rodriquez Rock Garden is different. Make sure before you go to it or decide to take it, you walk it and really give it a hard look. Now, I personally would not recommend any Gladiator going through, but if you own a Gladiator, you got it tricked out, and you really just, damages whatever to you, then hey, go ahead and send it, but not recommended on my behalf. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.